Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Schaefer Center. We are here at Indiana Tech as the Warriors play their second game of the Crossroads League WAC Conference Challenge. They beat Indiana Wesleyan last night, and they'll take on Spring Arbor today here at the Schaefer Center. Well, Indiana Tech is coming off a year in which they won the WAC Conference, finished 18-2 in conference play, 32-5 overall, and we've made it to the semifinal round of the NAIA National Tournament, where they lost 73-71 to the College of Idaho. It was an excellent season for Indiana Tech, and they'll look to have another excellent season this year. More on what they've got back coming up in a little bit. Now, Spring Arbor, they're coming off a year where they went 11-17 a year ago, finished 5-13 in Crossroads League play, looking to bounce back from that. But one thing that Spring Arbor has in their favor is they have Ryan Cottingham, who's a longtime head coach. In fact, he's in his 25th season as the head coach at Spring Arbor. He was actually the head coach back when I was in college at Huntington University. This according to SAUCougars.com. Cottingham is the winningest coach in Spring Arbor history. He's got 409 wins in his career, 10 years where he's won 20 games or more. And the Cougars also won 30 games back in 2018-2019. That season, they won 30 games and won an NAIA Division II national championship that year. That's what has happened in Ryan Cottingham's tenure as the head coach at Spring Arbor. Of course, Ted Albert has had a great career in his tenure as the head coach at Indiana Tech as well. Well, what do the teams have coming back? We'll talk more about that in just a moment here on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Well, back here at the Schaefer Center, Indiana Tech getting set to take on Spring Arbor. Well, Indiana Tech, with that great season last year, all their leading scorers, or most of their leading scorers, were seniors and graduate students. They've all graduated. Warriors do return Blake Davison, who was one of their leading scorers from last year. However, you will not see him on the court tonight. He is injured. It's indefinite as to how long he will be out. In fact, that's him on crutches on the far side of the Warrior bench. But the Warriors do like to dig into their bench. Ted Albert dug into his bench a lot during the course of last season and got some good production from the likes of Max Perez, Brady Titus. Those are the two key returning players who got good experience for Indiana Tech last year. Perez and Titus both shot it quite well from the field, and likely we'll see Steve Helm come in off the bench as well. Steve Helm was a guy who shot it at 49% from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Brady Titus shot it just 26% from beyond the arc, but he shot it 42% or 41% from the field. And Max Perez shot it 45% from beyond the arc. So those are some guys who are certainly capable of contributing for Indiana Tech. Now, Spring Arbor, they do bring back some of their top scorers from a year ago. Gabe Newhoff was a leading scorer last year. He averaged 19.3 points per game. And also Travis Grayson returns as well after averaging 10.4 points per game. Kevin Robertson also returns after averaging 9.2 points per game. Spring Arbor did lose last night at the hands of Cornerstone, and Indiana Tech did win last night against Indiana Wesleyan in the first round of the WAC Crossroads League Challenge. Indiana Wesleyan came into that game ranked 9th in the country in the NAIA. Indiana Tech came into that game ranked 25th in the country in the NAIA, and they were able to get the upset, so to speak. Of course, it was a ranked versus ranked upset as we get the announcement of the starting lineups. Well, you just heard the announcement of the starting lineups. Nigel Martin is coming off a game last night against Indiana Wesleyan where he scored 30 points, making his Indiana Tech debut. He's a transfer from Shaw University, also played at Santa Fe College. I'm guessing that's Santa Fe, New Mexico. Crew Gibson is one of the men to tip it off. He's ready to tip it off for Indiana Tech, and Spring Arbor wins the opening tip. That was Gabe Newhoff, the 6'9" sophomore who won the tip. And this is Travis Grayson, native of Valparaiso, Indiana. They get a feed inside early on, and Newhoff has the game's first bucket. Spring Arbor leads it 2-0. Indiana Tech often blew away the competition last year, especially in WAC conference play. There were some games where they started off falling behind and had to battle back, but were able to close it out in the end. No returning starters on the floor today for Indiana Tech. Blake Davison is out with an injury. It is unknown at this point how long he will be out. Shot clock's down to 3. They got to get something off. That is a deep, deep three. Dallas Roberts, he shot that thing from Dallas, but couldn't get it to go. Man who had the ball there a moment ago was Trey Cottingham. He's the son of Spring Arbor head coach Ryan Cottingham. Dante Favor on the drive, dishes that one outside. They get it back to him. Favor looking to go to work against Martin and puts it in right over him. Dante Favor just did the Cougars a favor, putting them up 4-0. Spring Arbor had a losing season last year, but they're very experienced. Indiana Tech not only had a winning season, they had a conference championship last year. They only have one returning starter. However, the guys they have as current starters, many of them got some good experience off the bench. Martin's three won't fall. Martin's not one of the returning starters. He's a transfer, played his previous years at Santa Fe College and Shaw University. Newhoff trying to make a move. His shot is able to go right over Crew Gibson, and a timeout taken by Indiana Tech. An early 6-0 lead for Spring Arbor, and we'll take a timeout right along with them.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals.
Warriors down 6 early on to Spring Arbor as Brady Titus gets this one across the timeline. Now Titus, he's a guy who can play very quick when he's got the rock in his hands. Perez, a good shooter from the outside. Dallas Roberts lets it fly. His three is good. And Indiana Tech cracks the scoreboard. Dallas Roberts, a native of Louisville, Kentucky. A true freshman getting the start today. Again, last year, Ted Albert frequently dug into his bench. So far, we're just almost 3 minutes in. Nobody's dug into their bench just yet. Kevin Robertson into the paint, puts it home. Well, Spring Arbor, I believe all their buckets have come around the rim, and that trend does not change so far. Gibson looking for some help. He finds it with Max Perez. Perez, pull-up jumper just inside the arc, could not finish. That's Kevin Robinson with the board. That pass is long and gets away from Newhoff. A turnover forced by the Warriors as Titus dribbles it through traffic, and it's taken away by the Cougs. Travis Grayson in transition. His floater, no good, but Newhoff is there to put it back. Well, right after Indiana Tech got their first stop of the game, a turnover leads to points, and now we're going to get a foul called against the Cougars. Travis Grayson called for that foul, and now both coaches will dig into their bench. Ty Risky, the sophomore from Schoolcraft, Michigan, comes in, and for Indiana Tech, it's Lucas Liskey, a redshirt junior from Spring Lake, Michigan. Indiana Tech's going to play against a lot of Michigan teams, and they've got quite a few Michigan players on their roster. Going to play against a lot of Michigan teams because most of the teams in the WAC conference are from that state. Liskey had a chance on the inside, but could not connect. Right now, Liskey is tasked with guarding Gabe Newhoff, and Newhoff's already up to 6 points. And Newhoff scores right over him. Well, Newhoff has been hard to stop in the early going here. He's up to 8 points already and a 9-point hole for the Warriors. But there is Liskey firing from downtown. His three doesn't fall. Travis Grayson comes across the timeline. Indiana Tech had a 2-point win last night. Count the basket and a foul. Newhoff going to the stripe. Well, stop him if you can. Newhoff is already up to 10 points. Dante Favor will re-enter the game. Spring Arbor has scored on all but one possession. I believe they've only had one missed field goal so far in the game. and they are living on the interior. But the free throw doesn't go. Offensive board, though, by Favor. Favor dishes it outside. And again, Liskey tasked with guarding Newhoff. Newhoff backing down. Did he walk? He did. It looked like Newhoff was shuffling the feet down there with the basketball in his possession. Roberts feeds it to the top of the key for Nigel Martin. Martin dribbled it on the line. And we've got a timeout. It's a media timeout, so we'll be right back in just a moment.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Well, so far, Spring Arbor has been living on the interior, and they've scored on all but one possession so far. Make that all but two possessions. What's cost them so far has been turnovers. Now, they don't have a whole slew of turnovers right now, but the Cougars have committed two of those, a traveling violation and then a pass that was stolen away by the Warriors. Indiana Tech looking for an answer. They're going to keep Lucas Liskey on the court. Right now, he has the most size of anybody out there. Liskey stands in at 6'8". Most size of anybody in a Warrior gray uniform. Here's Robertson. Feeds it back over to Tyler DeSimplaire. DeSimplaire flips it across court to Robertson. Shot clock at 9. Grayson for three, comes up short, and Roberts has the rebound for Indiana Tech. Perez steps up and fires. Could not connect. Perez is a sharpshooter from beyond the arc, but he couldn't hit that one. The feed inside Newhoff, gets position and scores. That's 12 for Gabe Newhoff. Liskey sets the screen for Roberts. Roberts right on the free throw line, yes. Dallas Roberts, the only Warrior to score so far. Warriors set up in a 2-3 zone, trying to neutralize this size advantage that Spring Arbor has had for the first portion of this game. That shot contested, Favor couldn't finish, and Liskey able to save it. Here's Nigel Martin looking to go baseline. Lost the ball, but got it back. Brady Titus looking for some help. He'll penetrate. It's along the edge of the paint. Titus comes up short with a jumper. The Warrior bench wanted a travel call there. It looked like Newhoff caught the ball, then jumped, then came down. He definitely caught the ball, then came down. Grayson for three. It's good. Spring Arbor leads it by 14, their largest lead of the game. Here's Liskey, gets a touch out around the free throw line. Liskey left open. His three's too strong. Grayson picked up by Perez. He swings it out to DeSinclair. From the baseline, that jumper would not fall, and we've got a foul. Appears to be against Indiana Tech. I think they're going to get Nigel Martin. They do get Martin indeed. That's Martin's first foul, second team foul against the Warriors. And off the inbound, Newhoff puts it in. Gabe Newhoff already up to 14 points. Does Indiana Tech have an answer? The 16-point lead is the largest it's been in the game. Only Warrior buckets today have come from Dallas Roberts. Morgan trying to change that, and he will. High arcing three. I said Morgan, it's Martin. Nigel Martin, not to be confused with former Major League Baseball star Niger Morgan. Cottingham almost took a long three there. The feed outside. DeSinclair hits a three right back at you. Roberts on the drive. Steps back for the jumper. It won't go. Liskey was fouled as he went up for the board. They're going to call the foul on Gabe Newhoff. And that will send Liskey to the line. And Liskey's free throw is good. Second one won't go. They work the ball around to DeSinclair. Shot clock down to 6. Newhoff sets the screen. They swing it cross court to Favor. Favor with one on the timer, and that's a shot clock violation. The ball never hit the rim. Max Perez been quiet so far. Martin hit on the arm, and he's going to the line for three. They're going to call it on Aiden Zank, the sophomore out of Hudsonville, Michigan. And Nigel Martin is going to the free throw line. He's a junior out of Cleveland, Ohio. Martin coming off a 30-point performance just last night. He's able to hit his first one. Second one good as well. Martin goes 3 for 3 from the stripe. Coming off a 30-point performance last night against Indiana Wesleyan. And Martin trying to help his team claw their way back into this one. They've been down by as many as 16. Grayson at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Ty Risky. Newhoff. Check that. That's Risky using the fake. Blocking foul is called. Steele Brassfield gets called for that foul. So far, Ted Albert's gotten 2 players in off his bench. He dug into his bench quite frequently last year, and that's when he had a starting lineup full of high-scoring graduate students and seniors, and even a high-scoring sophomore, Blake Davison. Davison, however, is out for today. 0 for 2 on that trip to the line. Well, the door is open for a Warrior comeback as Martin wants the 3 ball, doesn't get it. Kevin Robertson comes down with the rebound. Hand off to Robertson. Into the paint, got it. Kevin Robertson able to curl it home. Perez will hand that one off to Martin. Perez, or rather Martin, able to keep control. Perez a little long on the 3, but an offensive board by Crew Gibson. Now Martin fires and hits a 3. Well, the basket's good. I think they called Martin for a flop there. Yeah, they did call Martin for a flop. So this is going to be a technical foul that sends Travis Grayson to the free throw line. Now, Martin was trying to sell a foul there, it looked like. As the first free throw is good, well, I'm going to go ahead and get another quick look at that on our replay. You see the miss by Perez, but there's the shot. It was awful close. Kevin Robertson almost took his knees out from under him. But they say that Martin tried to sell the call and didn't get it. Now we got a foul called against the Warriors, it looks like, on the inside. Ted Albert is livid with the official. Media timeout has been called. 29-15, back in a moment.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
So that last bucket was actually made by Travis Grayson. Ted Albert was upset that it was not called an offensive foul. Right now, Indiana Tech trying to claw back after being down by as many as 16. They're down by 14 right now as Brasfield will hand that one off to Nigel Martin. Perez driving baseline. Flips it outside to Crew Gibson. Shot clock at 7. Perez fouled on the shot, or was it a pass? They might be calling it a pass. And if that's the case, it'll be an inbound from the baseline. Or was it just out of bounds off of Spring Arbor? I think it was just out of bounds off Spring Arbor. No foul called, so shot clock remains at 5 seconds. Martin gets it in. Down to 3 on the timer. Gibson, too strong. Kevin Robinson dishes that one outside to Grayson. Sets the screen for him. Early on, Spring Arbor is having so much success on the interior. That 3 won't fall. That was Robertson who took the shot. Indiana Tech, last few possessions, has been able to get to the interior, but not been able to get any buckets on the interior. Martin, step back jumper, got it. Well, Nigel Martin is coming off that 30-point performance against Indiana Wesleyan last night. He's got 11 so far in this one. Grayson couldn't connect, and Gibson has the rebound. A 6'8" freshman from Floyd Knobs, Indiana. Here's Martin. Oh, he almost lost his footing. He did lose his footing. Almost turned the ball over. Was he fouled? We'll get the official word here in a moment from the official. Timeout taken by Indiana Tech. With that, we will take a timeout right along with them.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Well, into the last possession, the call was a jump ball with the possession arrow going to Indiana Tech as Gibson's shot goes a little long. Check that, it's Liskey who gets the rebound, and now Titus short on the 3, tapped back out, and it comes to Newhoff. Liskey tried to knock it away, but he sent it to Newhoff. Favor able to recover on the baseline. Cottingham for 3, too strong. Liskey has the rebound for the Warriors, and here comes Titus. Door is open for the Warriors to come back, and Titus helping that cause with a dribble drive. Brady Titus, the sophomore, down the baseline. Brady Titus, the frequently used freshman a year ago, coming off the bench, getting a chance to start this year. Liskey pokes it away. Is it off him? It is. Liskey doing what he could to force a turnover, but he knocked it out of bounds. And he's calling for somebody to bring a towel out and dry up a wet spot on the floor. Well, while we have this stoppage in play, let's get another look at this last possession. I believe there were only 2 men to touch the ball this possession. The first was Liskey, the second was Titus. And once he got past the screener, got right to the rim and put it home. That is an excellent dribble drive by the sophomore Brady Titus from Jenison, Michigan. There's Newhoff. He'd had the hot hand early on in the game. Robertson into the paint. Shot clock at 4. Traveling is the call. Well, turnovers starting to hurt Spring Arbor. And leaving the door open for a Warrior comeback. Back to Roberts. Liskey sets the screen. Back to Martin. Martin just inside the line, comes up a little short. That ball hit the rim, but it doesn't matter. Spring Arbor comes away with it. That's Tyler DeSimplaire, who got the rebound for the Cougars. Favor waiting for it, gets it from Grayson. Wide open is DeSimplaire. Couldn't get it to go. Titus has it. We saw Titus take it coast to coast not too long ago. He's got Liskey setting a screen for him here. Titus back to Crew Gibson. The lefty fires, and his shot rims out. Looked like it was going to bounce in for just a second, but not so. Here's Grayson. Feeds that one over to Robertson. Favor regains control, finds Newhoff. His shot is long. Liskey with the rebound. Door still open for the Warriors to come back. Martin drives and draws the foul. Foul was called before the shot. It's the 6th-team foul against Spring Arbor. So far, just 3 fouls against Indiana Tech. Defender falls down. Liskey goes in and scores. Lucas Liskey, the redshirt junior, off the bench. And a timeout taken by Spring Arbor. That's the first one they've used in this game. Well, while they take a timeout, we'll go ahead and get a look at this last replay. Liskey had a little opportunity here that he took advantage of. Defender fell down. That was Newhoff. Newhoff a little late to recover, but Liskey takes it to the basket. Well, last few possessions, it's just simply been missed shots and turnovers that have hurt Spring Arbor and allowed Indiana Tech to claw their way back into this game. And after being down by as many as 16, the Warriors are now down 8. They had a hard-fought victory last night against Indiana Wesleyan. And it's looking like for them to win this one, they're going to have to fight hard again. But so far, we are seeing the Warriors fight back. Here's the play that got it to a 10-point game. Brady Titus, one of only 2 men to touch the ball on this possession, but once he touched it, he took it coast to coast. That made it a 10-point game with Indiana Tech having trailed again by as many as 16 in this one. They are on the comeback trail. The Warriors did have some come-from-behind victories last year, but they usually weren't down double digits. They were down double digits earlier in this game, as many as 16. But a stop here would be huge if they can get it. Here's Trey Cottingham. They feed it over to the baseline to Aiden Zank. Newhoff posting down low. Down to 7 seconds. Newhoff puts it in. He got around Liskey. And Spring Arbor is back up by 10. That's 16 points for Gabe Newhoff. As the Cougars look to answer. Titus has a lane, takes it, tries to flip it off to Gibson, and then Gibson gets fouled on the inside. Looked like Gibson had some trouble with the pass initially, but the foul appeared to be on the shot. Tyler DeSimplaire called for the foul, and Crew Gibson, the freshman out of Floyd Knobs, Indiana, goes to the free throw line. He's able to hit the first one. 2 for 2 goes Gibson. Jason Blair gives that to Favor. Cottingham blocked. Liskey swats it away. And back down the floor come the Warriors. I think Ryan Cottingham wanted a call for double dribble. 3 ball is good. Dallas Roberts. And the Warriors are within 5. That's Roberts' second 3 of the ball game. Pull-up jumper, Zank, no good. And the board comes to Gibson. Warriors can make this a 1-possession game with any bucket except a free throw. Perez slips that one off to Gibson. Perez, the catch and shoot 3, no good. Oh, Perez looking to get one to fall. We know he can hit from the outside. Unable to do so there. He was knocking down threes left and right off the bench for the Warriors last year in his sophomore season, now getting to start as a junior. Favor feeds it off. Shot clock is at 9. Favor spins into the paint. Too strong, that didn't even hit rim. Martin trying to keep control. He does. Looking for some help, and he finds it with Crew Gibson. Liskey posting up down low. Gibson, a little screen and roll. Martin going to let it fly, no good. And a timeout taken by Spring Arbor. Cougars have 4 timeouts remaining in the game. Well, while they take a timeout, we'll go ahead and show you our most recent sequence. This is the block by Liskey that eventually led to the 3 by Dallas Roberts. And you can see Ryan Cottingham livid that double dribble was not called, but there's Roberts' contested 3 in the corner. Looked like Robertson actually tripped on that play. Didn't see that live. But a huge 3 by Roberts to get this to a 5-point game. 2:18 left to go in this first half. Travis Grayson off the inbound. They get it back to him. Robertson traveled. They get him for a little shuffle of the feet, and turnovers were hurting Spring Arbor about midway through this game. Door still open for a Warrior comeback. They've come back this far to make it a 5-point game. That was tight defense there by Trey Cottingham. Roberts trying to get free, and he's fouled. He went for the reverse, and Roberts gets himself a trip to the line. 1:55 left to go in this first half. Warriors held on for a 2-point win against Indiana Wesleyan last night, and if Roberts had hit that free throw, the next one could have made it a 1-possession game. Still gets one more attempt. Roberts will go 1 for 2. Grayson gives that one up to Zunk, Aiden Zunk. Robertson feeds it outside. Liskey had the look, chose not to take it. They get it back to Grayson. Grayson, an Indiana native, he's from Valparaiso. Grayson uses the screen. 3 ball from Cottingham, and he drains it. Trey Cottingham, a much-needed bucket for the Cougars. And Perez has a wide open lane, and he sticks it in with his left hand. That's the easiest layup of Perez's life. And I think that's Perez's first bucket of the game as well. He's been trying to get it going from beyond the arc. Baseline drive, Cottingham with the reverse. As we're now inside the final minute of the first half. And a foul is called. I think they're going to call that one on Trey Cottingham. Indeed they are. Trey Cottingham, the son of Ryan Cottingham. He'd scored the last 5 points up until this possession. Last 5 Spring Arbor points, that is. And this will be free throws for Dallas Roberts. 1-1. It's the 7th team foul against Spring Arbor. First one goes. Roberts went 1 for 2 on his last trip. He'll be able to do at least that on this trip. Tyler DeSimpler checks in to give Cottingham a breather. That was Trey Cottingham's second foul. Two for 2 goes Roberts. Grayson let the ball bounce a little bit before he picked it up. Now he fires from the free throw line. That won't go, and it comes out to Roberts. Shot clock is still turned on. Roberts looking for a lane. He takes it, and he scores! Dallas Roberts on the dribble drive. Shot clock is now turned off. Spring Arbor will likely look to hold for the final shot of the first half. Indiana Tech was down 16. They've come back to make it a 3-point game. Oh, Newhoff was left alone, but he missed. Oh, did they foul him? A foul is called against the Warriors. The home crowd is livid. They get Lucas Liskey for the foul. That's only the 4th team foul against Indiana Tech, but they are going to call it on the shot. So that means that Newhoff goes to the line to shoot 2. Well, after he shoots this first one, we'll show you the replay. He missed it. Now here's a look at the foul that was called. There may have been some contact down there, but it was minimal. I'm not sure that's enough to warrant a foul. Of course, these calls are always judgment calls. Newhoff already missed the first free throw. That was Liskey's second foul, as it's called, by the way. Second one's good. But the Warriors can now hold for the final shot of the half. Here's Martin attacking the basket. Was he fouled? Jump ball. That means it's going to be Tech ball. Possession arrow favored the Warriors, and they've got 4.2 seconds left to play in this first half. Long inbound to Gibson. Gibson fires from the free throw line. Off the mark. Well, a great battle by Indiana Tech. They get it down as close as a 3-point deficit after trailing by as many as 16. A great comeback by the Warriors. And we've still got a whole nother half of basketball left to be played here at the Schaefer Center. We're back in just a matter of moments here on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science, Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utangsu and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
We got a good one here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech down 4 to Spring Arbor. They were down by 16, but came roaring back to get as close as 3 points down. Now, early on, it was the play of Gabe Newhoff that helped Spring Arbor build up that 16-point lead. Newhoff finished the first half with 17 points, but Indiana Tech has kind of changed things up a little bit. They actually went zone at least a couple times in that later portion of the first half and were able to get some stops, make it more difficult for Newhoff to get open down low. He does finish, though, with 17 points at the end of the first half. Speaking of which, we are going to give you the live statistics right now. As I mentioned, Gabe Newhoff is the leading scorer in this game for Spring Arbor with 17 points. Travis Grayson has 6. Trey Cottingham has 5. Kevin Robertson has 4, and Tyler DeSimplaire has 3, and Dante Favor has 2. For Indiana Tech, their leading scorer of the first half was Dallas Roberts with 13 points. Nigel Martin right behind him with 11. Lucas Liskey with 3. Crew Gibson, Max Perez and Brady Titus all with 2 points apiece, although Brady Titus had an impressive coast-to-coast drive. That's how he got his first 2 points, by scoring in transition. And again, the bad news for Indiana Tech, if you're just joining us, is Blake Davison, the outstanding junior guard out of Leo High School, is not able to go today. He's got what looks to be a broken leg, broken knee. I'd guess that it's a broken knee, considering that that's where the brace is. It's around his knee. He's not able to go today. They're unsure as to how long he'll be out. I'd guess he'd be out the next few weeks at the very least. But Blake, we certainly wish you a safe recovery. You're in our prayers. We hope you're able to get well soon and be able to take the court again soon at some point. Blake Davidson was an outstanding player for the Warriors last year as a sophomore, was an outstanding player in his high school days at Leo. We certainly wish the best for him. By the way, we'll give you a quick update here of another Indiana Tech athletic event that's going on. Indiana Tech hockey is taking on Lawrence Tech. That's men's hockey, and they are playing at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum. That's right, the home of the Comets. Usually the Warriors play their hockey home games at the Parkview Sport One Ice House, but today they are playing over at the Coliseum, a big conference matchup, 12th-ranked Warriors versus 24th-ranked Lawrence Tech. We got over 2.5 minutes before the second half gets underway. We're back in just a moment. You're watching Indiana Tech Warriors basketball. It is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
I think it's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The two things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets, and also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references, and if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.
We got another minute to go before we get the second half underway, and it's also worth mentioning that another Indiana Tech player is not able to go today. That's Steve Helm. He's walking around in a boot. So you've got him and you've got Blake Davison not able to go. But so far, even though Indiana Tech did fall behind by 16 points, they have come back to make it a 4-point game right now. They had it at a 3-point game very late in the first half. In just a moment, we'll see if we can't get an update on Indiana Tech women's soccer. They took the field earlier today. Against Aquinas. The game started today at 1 p.m. And it's going to be Spring Arbor to get the ball to start the second half. Travis Grayson running the point here for Spring Arbor, and they work it around to Newhoff, who had the hot hand very early on in this game. Cottingham the feed over to Grayson. Warriors are going man-to-man here. Right now it's Crew Gibson, who had been defending against Newhoff. That ball goes out of bounds. Newhoff was the last to touch it. And with the man-to-man defense that time, the Warriors get a stop. They had gone zone in the later half of the first half. Not sure they went zone the entire half after that point. Step back jumper there, Dallas Roberts, a little bit long. As Kevin Robertson pulls down the rebound. They get it back inside to Newhoff, and this time he gets around Gibson. Perez trying to find his shot. We know he can shoot it from the outside. Has not yet hit a three in this game. He scored on a dribble drive bucket. Here goes Martin. Falling away a little bit too strong. It was Newhoff who came down with it and somehow found Grayson. Newhoff off the fake, and they got him for a travel. Well, turnovers hurt Spring Arbor in the first half. Cougars are coming off an 11-17 campaign, but they've got a very experienced, very successful head coach in Ryan Conningham. And a very experienced group of players as well, as Roberts lets that one fly, but that's off the mark. Kept alive initially by Perez, but it's boarded by Robertson. And right back inside, Newhoff puts it in. Back-to-back buckets for Gabe Newhoff. He's up to 21 points. He's a sophomore out of Hudsonville, Michigan. Oh, baseline drive, Titus. This time they cut him off. He finds Martin. Martin draws the foul. And the Spring Arbor fans showing their displeasure, as I heard one of them say, that's a bad call. But Nigel Martin's going to the free throw line, just one night removed from his 30-point performance against Indiana Wesleyan. That was an evening start, a 7:30 tip, as I recall. This game got underway just after 2 o'clock. Really, it's a quick turnaround for both teams because Spring Arbor had to play last night against Cornerstone. They were able to, Cornerstone actually beat Spring Arbor in that game. And I'm not sure if Martin is hurt or just simply winded. It looked like he was walking around trying to catch his breath. But he goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. That's 13 points for Martin, and the Warriors are on the board here in the second half. I tell you what, Favor was wide open. Chose not to shoot the three, though. They lob it inside looking for Newhoff. Who touched it last? Newhoff did. I think that was Titus who came in late and helped to affect the pass. Roberts will give that one off to Perez. Perez gets a screen. Fires from the free throw line. Got it. Max Perez leaning in. His second field goal of the game. And the Warriors once again pull within 4. Cottingham, the feed to Favor. And along the baseline, Newhoff puts it in again. Titus uses the screen from Liskey. He'll get it to him. Liskey recovered, but short on the shot. He was bobbling it on his way up. I don't think he quite got a clean shot off that time as Favor drives inside. Wide open is Grayson, but his three won't fall. Offensive board, that was slightly contested and then swatted away after the miss by Martin. Liskey sets the screen. Perez wanted to shoot it. At least I think he did. Step back jumper, Dallas Roberts a little long. Grayson. Outside to Robertson. Oh, Robertson almost had it swatted away. Battle for the ball. Contested and then a foul. That possession looked like it had turnover written all over it, but they call Liskey for the foul. That's his third. Steele Brassfield's going to head over the bench, and it looks like Crew Gibson will head there as well. And the Warriors playing without two key contributors. Steve Helm, a really good three-point shooter, and Blake Davison, a great all-around shooter. They're both out today with injury. Helm was walking around in a boot. Davison's on crutches. He's sitting down right now. That's another missed free throw there by Newhoff. He went 1 for 2 at the beginning, or at the end of the first half, rather. Right now he's trying to get this free throw trip to 1 for 2, and he will. Brady Titus will handle this one as Grayson comes to guard him. Spring Arbor is in a man-to-man. Titus from the free throw line buries a jumper. Contested jumper at that, and Titus scores. Just 4 points for Titus so far, but that's a huge bucket for the Warriors. Kevin Robertson looks to go baseline. Now he attacks the paint and dishes. Zunk for three, no good. Martin grabs the board. Titus, ball's loose. They say it was touched last by Grayson. Martin looking for help, and he'll find some help with Crew Gibson. Perez attacks the baseline. Was he fouled? Apparently he was. Tyler DeSimpler called for the foul. Just his second foul so far. It's becoming an elongated possession for the Warriors. Titus finds Brassfield. Gibson sets the screen for him. They get it to Gibson. Shot clock winding down, and Gibson could not get it to bounce home. Grayson. Newhoff backs in, loses the ball. It's recovered by Zunk. Robertson left wide open. His three doesn't fall, and Martin has it. Spring Arbor not shooting very well from beyond the arc today. I believe they've only got one made three. Check on that in a little bit as Martin lets it fly. He's already been called for a technical for flopping earlier in this game. No flop that time, though. Robertson, too strong. Battle for the board. Gibson's got it. Titus brings it across the timeline. He finds Crew Gibson. Gibson tries to spin in. Back out to Titus. Titus fakes, finds Gibson. Play clock at 10. The shot clock at 10. Doesn't matter, Gibson buries a jumper. Doesn't matter as far as Gibson's concerned, at least. And for Gibson, I believe that's his first made field goal. And it's a one-score game here at the Schaefer Center, but Newhoff changes all that. He got position on the inside. .25 points for Newhoff. Titus gives that one to Gibson. Now Brassfield fires and hits a three. Steele Brassfield from downtown. First three of the second half for Indiana Tech. Grayson thinking about the three, now drives on Titus and puts it in. Travis Grayson answers for Spring Arbor. Titus around the screen, Regains his dribble. Steps to his right and hits the jumper. Brady Titus makes it happen. Blocking foul called on Titus. The Warrior bench doesn't like it. That's only Titus's first. Media timeout. 2-point game, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Indiana Tech has been down in this game as many as 16 points, but they've cut it down to 2, the closest that this game has been since the opening tip. And the guards are making a big impact. Now, Brady Titus so far has only 6 points, but he's hit 2 big shots in the second half. Grayson trying to get it in. He does. That's to Dason Player. Grayson gets a screen here from Ty Risky. Now he'll fire a 3, and it's good. Travis Grayson answers from downtown. I believe that's the third made 3 of the game for Spring Arbor. Here's Martin on the attack. Puts it back outside. The Spring Arbor crowd wants a walk. Perez, the floater, got it. Max Perez gets it to curl home. Grayson dishes outside to Risky. Catch and shoot 3, and that one is no good. It was halfway down from Conningham, but here come the Warriors down just 1 score. Gibson for the tie. Yes! Crew Gibson ties it up from downtown. And Gibson says, join this crew. His first 3 of the game. The Warriors have fought back from down 16 to tie it. Now, can they get a stop here? Wide open is Grayson. He lets it fly. That's an air ball and out of bounds. I say air ball, it might have grazed the rim, but either way, the Warriors take over and they can take the lead. They beat Indiana Wesleyan, 9th-ranked team in the NAIA last night, and now trying to make it back-to-back wins against the Crossroads League. Titus makes it happen on the inside. First lead of the game for the Warriors. So many big moments for Titus as a freshman off the bench last year. Now getting to start as a sophomore, he hits a huge shot. Cottingham on the drive, flips it out. Count it, and a foul. Ty Risky ties it up. And he's got a chance to give Spring Arbor the lead. Crew Gibson, who hit that game-tying 3 moments ago, called for the foul. And now Ty Risky will look to give the Cougars the lead. He missed it. Brassfield out-fought for the rebound. Ball still loose. Who's got it? I think the Warriors touched it last. They did. Oh, Perez had a chance at that one. He had a chance at it, so did Steele Brasfield. It's going to be Cougar ball. And did somebody spot a wet spot? Apparently not. Oh, they did spot a wet spot. Right there just inside the sideline along the Cougar bench. Great comeback by Indiana Tech, but right now they're trying to keep this from being a 4-point possession. Or worse yet, a 5-point possession. Wide pass. Newhoff gathers. Shot clocked at 7. And that shot curls in. Grayson gets it to fall. That's 12 points for Travis Grayson. And Spring Arbor's right back on top. Titus on the attack. Draws the foul. It's on Grayson. And for Grayson, that's his second so far with 9:50 to go. And a timeout has been taken by Indiana Tech. Well, while they take a timeout, we will also take a timeout here in this broadcast of Warrior Basketball, brought to you by Summit City Sports.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
$9:50 to go here in the second half. Indiana Tech looking to get this at least to a 1-point game, maybe even tie it. They got Brady Titus at the free throw line. The guards are making a huge impact tonight for Indiana Tech, and Titus is one of those guys. He's got 8 points so far. Was held to just 2 points in the first half. And he gets that one to go. I think there was one fan kicking her feet against the bleachers in the Spring Arbor crowd. Okay, there's more than one now. But Titus goes 2 for 2 nonetheless. The banging of feet against the bleachers does not faze him. 55 all here at the Schaefer Center. Jason Player wanted the catch and shoot 3 that time. And here's Zank, who brings it back outside. Looks like Indiana Tech might have gone to a 1-3-1 zone. They almost had Cottingham open there in the corner. Shot clock's at 6. Grayson uses the screen, dishes it out. Zunk missed it, and the rebound comes to Nigel Martin. Indiana Tech was down 16. They came back to take the lead not too long ago. Perez gets inside. Titus, pull-up jumper. Yes! Oh, Titus is feeling it. Give him 12 points for the game. Grayson directs traffic. Cottingham on the wing. He feeds it inside. Newhoff. Newhoff tries to get position. No shot. The foul appears to be on Indiana Tech. They called the foul before the shot. And it's Max Perez who gets called for the foul, just his first. Newhoff thought he had an and one. And I think this entire gym thought that for a moment. Newhoff gets the catch off the inbound. Robertson able to control. Grayson down the baseline. Cottingham, 8 on the timer. Newhoff feeds it. Robertson got it with 3 on the timer, and we're tied. Well, how good is this Spring Arbor team going to be the rest of the year? If you're a Crossroads League fan or player or coach, look out for the Cougars. That shot's blocked. Newhoff got his hand on it. It was Titus who took the shot, but he had it swatted away. And a foul away from the ball. Looks like it's against the Warriors. I think they got Crew Gibson, just his second foul of the game so far. Travis Grayson to inbound for Spring Arbor. Newhoff backing down. Robertson into the paint. Contested shot. Count the basket and a foul. They get Nigel Martin that time, and Robertson is going to the charity stripe to try and make this a three-point play. He does not. Foul on the rebound attempt, and it looks like it's against Spring Arbor. Dante Favor called for the foul. Full court pressure by the Cougars. Warriors got to hurry. Roberts gets it across the timeline. Roberts momentarily got away from Cottingham. He finds Liskey. Liskey goes after the ball. Did he get a timeout? Or do we have a jump ball here? Or did he step on the end line? Crowd is waiting for a call. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Warriors. And again, another wet spot there on the floor. And with Indiana Tech getting that jump ball, the shot clock remains at 7 seconds. Ball's knocked away. Touch last by the Cougs. 1 extra second ticks off the shot clock. It's down to 6. They get it into Gibson. His 3 tied the game earlier. Roberts gets it off and hits it. Right at the shot clock buzzer, Dallas Roberts ties it up. Robertson back outside, and they work it around to Grayson. Shot clock at 9. Grayson the drive, the floater, he missed it, and Martin's got it. Martin going quick, trying to beat the pack, and he's fouled. And with 6:42 to go, they get that foul on Kevin Robertson. Max Perez and Steele Brasfield will re-enter the game. Steele Brasfield had a 3 earlier this half that got it to a 2-point game. He's going to give Martin a breather with 6:42 to go. Indiana Tech was down by 16 in the first half. They fought all the way back to tie it, and at one point had the lead. Tyler DeSimpler back into the game for Spring Arbor. They find Gibson. A lot of time on the shot clock here. Gibson at the three-point line finds Perez. Perez drives. Step back jumper. That's a two if it goes, and it does. And the Warriors have the lead. Max Perez makes it happen. Perez harassing Cottingham. Robertson the feed. Newhoff ties it right back up. The Cougars' workhorse on the interior gets it done. 27 points for Gabe Newhoff. Liskey sets the screen. Perez, step back again, not this time. Rebound to Cottingham. Warriors had to hold off Indiana Wesleyan, the 9th-ranked team in the NAIA last night. Warriors are currently 25th. Spring Arbor comes in unranked, but they've got a lot of experience. A three for the lead, it's good. Trey Cottingham. Liskey able to recover. Perez finds Brasfield. Brasfield's hit a three already, but he goes into the paint and scores. Steele Brasfield was moving a million different directions on that drive. And now here's Grayson trying to get past him. Robertson left open, and he hits a three. He hadn't hit one all night until that time. Foul is called as Roberts tried to get around the defender. They said Steele Brasfield. I think that's the wrong guy. I think they got it on Trey Cottingham. That's number 10 for Spring Arbor. Gibson finds Liskey. Gibson's hit 1-3, not that time. The 1-3 he had hit was a game-tying three. And a timeout taken by Spring Arbor. While they take a timeout, we will also take one right here on SummitCitySports.com and Indiana Tech Warrior basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
The Warriors have battled back after being down 16 points. They now find themselves down 4. They had the lead at a couple of different points here in this second half. But right now trying to fight back and get a stop. 4:17 left to go. Still plenty of time left in the game. But the Warriors looking for a stop as Robertson gets ready to inbound. Here's Grayson. Leaves that one off to Robertson. Cottingham dribbles around That's a wide open three for Day Sinclair, and he hits it. Well, Spring Arbor is hitting their threes when it counts most. Roberts fires and hits. Are they going to count the shot? Was there a foul? I think they are going to count it. The three is good, and it looks like there was a foul against Spring Arbor. Trey Cottingham called for the foul. And now Roberts has a chance to make this a 4-point play, which he does. Grayson across the timeline. He drives, kicks. Robertson, who hit a three not long ago. That last 4-point play, Robertson's up to 17 points, and Spring Arbor letting the shot clock run down until Newhoff puts it home, and they're up by 5. Perez drives, dishes, Titus wants the three, steps back for it, a little bit short, and Grayson has the board for Spring Arbor. Still plenty of time left, just under 3 minutes, but the Warriors need a stop. I believe Spring Arbor has scored on their last 4 or 5 possessions. Quick jumper, and it's good. That's Newhoff. Puts them back up by 7. 31 for Gabe Newhoff. Perez fires. His three comes up short. He hasn't made one yet. He's a good 3-point shooter, but he still has yet to make one in this game. Grayson comes across the timeline. Titus staying with Grayson the whole way. Uses a screen from Newhoff. Blocking foul is the call. They get it on Titus, and that's going to be his second. Dallas Roberts will re-enter for Indiana Tech. He'll take the place of Steele Brassfield. I said it was Roberts with the three earlier. Might have been Brassfield, actually. That is the 7th team foul on Indiana Tech. And Travis Grayson's going to shoot 1 and 1. He's got to tie his shoe first. Indiana Tech desperate for a stop. The only way they'll get one here is if Grayson misses this first free throw, which he does not. Grayson goes 2 for 2 on the 1 and 1 and a timeout. Spring Arbor has 2 timeouts left, and we'll take one right along with them here in this broadcast of Warrior basketball.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world.
It's Warrior ball, down 9. Titus gives that one to Perez. Perez attacks the paint. Left-handed layup, it's good. Perez up to 10 points. We're down inside 2 minutes to play. Warriors need a stop. either a stop or a foul. Right now, Spring Arbor still in the bonus. Newhoff able to put it in. Well, Indiana Tech has had very little answer for Gabe Newhoff tonight. He's up to 33 points. Martin dribbling around. Out to Liskey. His three doesn't fall. That would have made it a 6-point game. Well, late in this game, the Warriors' threes have just not fallen. And they've struggled to get stops these last few minutes. Martin down the baseline, swings it out. The three won't go. Offensive board, Kevin Robinson. And that'll allow it to tick down to the final minute. Grayson regathers his dribble. Hard screen set there by Newhoff. Shot clock at 6. Cottingham's three is good. And that might just be the dagger. A 12-point lead for Spring Arbor. Titus letting the ball roll a little bit. And now he brings it in the paint. Finds Martin. Martin for three. That's short. Titus trips. They're going to call that foul on Cottingham. That's Trey Cottingham's 5th foul of the game, and he is fouled out. He's still in the game, though. Pretty sure 5th foul means you're done for the night. As Titus misses that free throw. They're actually letting Cottingham play this out. Grayson going to dribble around. There's still a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock, but with this being a 12-point game, Spring Arbor has basically just looked to milk time off the clock and hold for the final shot. They might not even shoot it here. They don't necessarily have to. But Grayson does get it off. Shot clock runs out, but there was a foul against the Warriors. Well, Spring Arbor, after being defeated last night by Cornerstone, is going to go to 1-1 on the season, and Indiana Tech's going to fall to 1-1. Grayson with one more free throw to boot. Second one's also good. Titus going to let it fly one more time, and it comes up short, and that pretty much spells the last 4 minutes of this game. Indiana Tech hit some big threes over the course of the second half, but late in the game, they couldn't get them to fall. And late in the game, Gabe Newhoff proved to be too much to handle on the interior. Newhoff finishes this game with 33 points, and he is going to be our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. He was easily the workhorse on the inside for the Spring Arbor Cougars as they beat Indiana Tech 83-69. Spring Arbor improves to 1-1. Indiana Tech falls to 1-1. And that's going to do it for this edition of the WAC Crossroads League Classic here at the Schaefer Center. For my cameraman, Esau Haynes, this is Thad Goff saying so long from the Schaefer Center. Again, the Warriors lose 83-69. You've been watching Indiana Tech men's basketball. It is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Camera bag's right here.